Bonsoir. Alors, que s'est-il passé aujourd'hui à Santo Domingo dans le cadre des 14e Jeux panaméricains? Bien des choses et on va tenter de vous en raconter le plus possible.
So much time has passed and still brave hearts push the limits. Canadians in the Caribbean who aim to leave their mark. Impressions from a young country on the oldest in the Americas, where the founder may see what the future holds. He was looking for the Indies and along the way found an island called Hispaniola. Christopher Columbus was on a voyage of discovery in 1492. Hello everyone and welcome to our coverage of the 14th Pan American Games from Santo Domingo. I'm Scott Russell. Discovery is a major theme in every athletic endeavor. Take the Canadian women's gymnastics team, for instance. Young women, teenagers from across the country who will find out very quickly at these major international games if they have what it takes to play with the best in the world. The gymnastics venue is one of the most impressive of the games. The Canadian women march in as the defending Pan American Games champions, but lingering in the minds of the athletes and their supporters is the reality that this is 4 years removed from Winnipeg.
It's not our 99 Golden Girl team that won in Winnipeg. So it's a brand new team. It's a fairly inexperienced team, but it's a team with a lot of heart.
The United States has brought along a 13-year-old junior named Nastya Liukin, the daughter of coach and former Olympic champion Valerie Liukin. They will be strong. Brazil will make noise. The accomplished Daniel Hippolito has experience and is under the watchful eye of former Ukrainian head coach Oleg Ostapenko, who has been hired to get this country to the Olympics. Canada has an early problem. 15-year-old up-and-comer Gail Mackey, the daughter of a former Olympian, is dehydrated, may not be able to compete.
I'm hoping she can keep her composure. She's well practiced, she's trained well, and I'm just hoping that she can just keep it together.
The Canadians do have 21-year-old Rochelle Simpson in the fold. The American collegiate champion from the University of Nebraska has gone through many roadblocks to compete for her native country in the DR. The Canadians start the four-apparatus competition on the uneven bars. It's a tricky place to be for Cornwall, Ontario's Melanie Banville. She won 3 gold medals at the recent national championships in Saskatoon and negotiates the bars here in Santo Domingo with a good measure of poise. She gets Canada rolling. In the crowd, an expectant Ruth Simpson of Toronto is on hand to watch her daughter Rochelle compete for Canada for the first time in a long time. It's an uneasy situation on the bars because Rochelle has been forced into service on this event in light of Gail Mackey's inability to compete the first apparatus. Still, there's satisfaction.
It's quite an experience for her. It's been a long road back to Canada for her, so she's really looking forward to this.
Rochelle Simpson's experience is paying off. The senior member of the team is nearly flawless until the end of her routine. A fall means sure trouble for the Canadians. Meantime, the United States is off to a flying start. Determined to regain the Pan Am title, the American women command the vault with the likes of this outstanding execution by Courtney McCool. Now Canada reflects on an early stumble.
I mean, I felt ready and I did a decent routine, but just slipped up at the end. And I mean, I'm disappointed that that happened. But I mean, things happen. We need to move on.
The second event for the Canadians is also a tenuous proposition, the 4-inch wide balance beam. More than one fall is disaster and can end any hope of a medal. 16-year-old Lydia Williams of Toronto exemplifies the performance of the entire team on this event. She is rock solid. Brazil gets what it needs from the veteran Hippolito. She brings Olympic credentials to her floor routine and delivers a brilliant performance in the final position in her country's order. Reason for the entire group to celebrate. While they may not catch the United States, they have the defending champions from Canada on the run. Rochelle Simpson, not to be deterred, shows some strength and resilience for Canada. Simpson has been in a big competition many times before and is undaunted on the beam. Barely a wobble as Canada survives 2 events and stays in the hunt.
our goal here is to medal as a team. It's our one focus, is to take home a medal. What color it will be? Bronze likely, silver would be delightful, but we're hoping to medal as a team.
Ominous is what's happening to Canada's youngest hope. She is desperate to cool down and compete on her premier event, which is just around the corner. The Canadian women are through two here in the team final at Santo Domingo, and they're struggling with inexperience, the intense heat, and some stomach problems. They're hoping to keep Gail Mackey, the 15-year-old from Langley, BC, in the competition. She's suffering through intense dehydration. They're going to the floor exercise next, which is a traditional Canadian strength. They'll get a bye, and then they'll finish on the vault. We'll keep you apprised of their progress a little bit later in the show. Right now to Bruce Rainey, and a big day for the teams in red and white. Water polo, basketball, field hockey. Let's pick up the Canadian trail.
And Scott, that trail begins with men's basketball. Canadian men opened with a loss against Brazil. Second game, an overflow crowd. The hometown Dominicans is the opponent.
Domingo continue after this.
The 14th Pan American Games on CBC. Brought to you by new Gillette Mach 3 Turbo for the closest shave, even against the grain.
Welcome back to Santo Domingo and the travels of the Canadian gymnastics team. There is reason for concern in the camp of the reigning champions. On the sidelines, they are considering the floor exercise. Now, no room for error if they hope to salvage a silver medal. The United States shows no signs of letting up. Nastya Liukin is brilliant on the balance beam. The youngest member of the team at 13 is not eligible for the upcoming World Championships. Still, she reveals incredible poise and produces the best result on the event, a mark of 9-4 by the American junior champion. Brazil moves to the uneven bars in the third rotation and for some reason has difficulty in the warm-up. Each member of the team climbs aboard to chalk the bars, tries to get a grip. It's an uncharacteristic uncertainty at a critical time. Their fans are very uneasy in the grandstands just beyond the competition floor's borders. The nervousness with the apparatus appears to be prophetic as Brazil gets two falls on this event. First, it's Diane Santos, another Olympic veteran. Brazil can't avoid a tough blow when Camila Coleman also has severe trouble with the tricky bars. She produces a weak score of 8.287. Oleg Ostapenko is frustrated with the athletes. Diane Santos, one of the more reliable, is exasperated with the humidity, its effect on the equipment. Canada has worries of its own deep in the competition. Gail Mackey is not responding, appears physically weak, can't answer the call.
I really wanted to compete, but then when I warmed up, I just felt sick and dizzy.
We have a last-minute replacement. Lydia Williams will be doing floors, and she'll be starting off our team, so it's important that she hits it, and she hits it hard.
Lydia Williams of Toronto got the word right after the team left the balance beam. She is not the most talented all-around gymnast, but must now rescue Canada's flagging hopes. In the stands, the supporters move close to the edge of their seats, nervous and expectant. Williams now on her own. It's a great performance in a pitch head roll, and everyone knows it. Lydia Williams scores a 9.125. Canada still has reason to hope for that silver medal. Kylie Stone responds as well. The Calgarian from the Stampede City Gymnastics Club won a bronze medal at last year's Commonwealth Games in Manchester on this event. And there are no major mistakes for Kylie in the Dominican. At the end of 3 events, Canada is still in 3rd place, a full mark and a half behind 2nd place Brazil, yet the gap is narrowing. The Canadians also finish on an event in which it is possible to score well throughout the lineup. The vault is a strength for Heather Purnell of Metcalfe, Ontario near Ottawa. Purnell delivers a 9.3 average over 2 vaults to lead the team. Melanie Banville follows suit. When Canada needs it most, the young members of the team, most at their first major international games, find a way. Talk about putting pressure on the Brazilians. Banville 9.225 on the vault, and the seal on a gutsy effort by a wounded side. Brazil has a good lead, but they face the beam, must walk a thin line without 2 falls to keep their position ahead of the Canadians. Laís Souza cannot meet the challenge. In the wink of an eye, she is quietly off the beam. 5/10 deduction, automatically a low score. All kinds of pressure on Danielle Hippolito. Not that she hasn't delivered great routines in the past. This time she has to be nearly perfect. There is a rare sign of doubt, a long lingering moment on the edge of disaster. The judges are not convinced and punish her for it. Hippolito can manage only a score of 8.8, 8.7, well below what's needed, and Brazil has missed an opportunity to get by Canada. It's the United States for the gold medal. Brazil settles for bronze, while Canada and unsung heroes strike a silver pose.
Feels great, because you don't expect it. And then it just teaches you that when you do what you can do, anything can happen.
This is a great day. The silver medal is just such a thrill. We were really pushing hard for the bronze medal, so to end up with this lovely silver medal, we're just delighted.
An inspiring day. Stone, Purnell, Simpson, Banville, Mackey, and Williams getting stronger at just the right time. 2 more days of competition for the women. Lydia Williams, Heather Purnell, and Melanie Banville have all qualified for the individual all-around final for Canada. There are also the event finals after that, and then from there, Canada will go to the World Championships at the Pond in Anaheim, California, to compete at the World Championships in 10 days' time. When they're there, Canada will have to be top 12 in order to qualify for the big dance, the Olympic Games in Athens, Greece next summer. Speaking of dancing, Daryl Kite has apparently developed a case of happy feet here in the DR.
Edmonton offered the major highlight for the Canadians, scoring an impressive 9.4 in his specialty. On the floor, the men's team finishes in 7th. In the all-around, Eric Kafka of Burlington, Ontario, a strong performance on the rings. He rides this to an 18th place finish overall. And in men's team bowling,
The gold medal, but the silver lining is they found out they have a real strength of character, and maybe that's just as valuable when you're trying to get to the promised land and the Olympics. Tomorrow we'll find out exactly what's at stake at these Pan American Games. 421 Canadian athletes are here for a reason. There's a real purpose, and Bruce Rainey will lay it all on the line when we return to Santo Domingo. Until then, thanks for watching, and hasta mañana from the Dominican.
Bon, et on peut dire sans gêne, oui, finalement, oui, enfin, à la 4e journée de compétition de ces Jeux panaméricains, le Canada qui remporte sa toute première médaille d'or. C'est un jeune homme de 18 ans d'Edmonton, en Alberta, Brandon O'Neill, qui a réalisé cet exploit. En fait, O'Neill a remporté la finale au sol avec un total de 9,50. La compétition a été retardée de 30 minutes à cause d'une dispute concernant le remboursement des dépenses d'un juge. De toute évidence, le retard n'a aucunement dérangé O'Neill. Brandon, encouragé par ses grands-parents, a commencé la gym à l'âge de 3 ans. Brandon O'Neill a devancé l'Américain Clayton Strutter et le Brésilien Michel Coiseco, qui ont terminé à égalité au 2e rang, donc il n'y aura pas de médaille de bronze de décerner. Et O'Neill, qui participait à ses premiers grands Jeux internationaux, était nerveux mais confiant de bien réussir au sol après avoir remporté la même épreuve au championnat canadien. Stéphane Langdo a recueilli ses commentaires.
Brandon O'Neill est le gagnant de la médaille d'or dans le concours au sol. Brandon, I'm sure that there's somebody at home, your grandmother, that has to be really, really proud of you today.
Yeah, I'm sure all my family members are really proud of me, so I'm looking forward to coming home and seeing them, so can't wait.
How did the floor exercise go this morning?
I've done better routines, but it was just a matter of sticking your routine and make sure you don't take too many steps, because I don't know, there were a few tough competitors, but I knew if I made my routine as good as I can, then I had a good shot at the gold.
And how does it feel after winning the Canadian Championship to come here in Santo Domingo and to win the same event at the Pan Am Games?
Oh, it's amazing. I didn't expect to win gold. I was just hoping for a medal and just hitting my routine, and then it was unbelievable seeing the scores.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alors, Brandon O'Neill qui raconte que oui, il y a effectivement beaucoup de membres de sa famille qui seront très heureux d'apprendre qu'il a remporté une médaille d'or au concours au sol. Évidemment, le concours était quand même relativement difficile. Il dit qu'il a déjà connu de meilleures routines, mais le but, c'était vraiment de réussir à planter les pieds solidement, de saluer les juges et de regarder le pointage par la suite. Ça lui a profité. La médaille d'or pour le Canada dans le concours au sol.
18-year-old Brandon O'Neill of the Capital City Gymnastics Club in Edmonton puts on a show in the men's floor exercise final. O'Neill is the two-time Canadian champion in this event and has the ability to challenge the best in the world. It's all about poise when it comes to mastering the floor. O'Neill, the most experienced of this young Canadian side, comes through with a complete demonstration of strength and control in Santo Domingo. He leaves little doubt about the results. It's a 9-5 for Brandon O'Neill of Canada. By far the best mark in the event, Michelle Conseco of Brazil and Clayton Strother of the United States tie for the silver medal. First gold medal for Canada in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, it's great. With the Olympics coming up and winning national championships, I just had to prove to come to this competition and prove that I could compete on an international level. And I've done that, so I'm really happy.
Previously in the women's all-around final, Toronto's Lydia Williams. Heather Purnell of Metcalfe, Ontario, near nation's capital, and Melanie Banville of Cornwall all started as top 10 qualifiers. The woman with the best total score over all four events wins the gold medal. We pick it up in the second rotation with Banville in sixth spot. A good vault with a score of 9.15 will move her well up in the standings. Brazil's veteran Danielle Hippolito had trouble with the uneven bars when her team faltered and hung on for a bronze medal in the team event. This time, Hippolito delivers a solid routine. Scores a 9.487 to get into contention. Lydia Williams, the 16-year-old, was a tower of strength for Canada as they won team silver. The beam is, however, always treacherous. Williams hangs on with a few wobbles to score just under 9 and hovers in the top 5. Heather Purnell doesn't fare as well. She's off the apparatus, and a fall like this ends all hope of winning a medal in the all-around competition. After two rotations, Chelsea Memel of the United States is in the lead, but not by much over her American teammate Liukin. Canada's Melanie Banville has moved up to 5th. Now the top Canadian considers the uneven bars with one of the coaches, Toby Gorman. It was the place that the team started on the road to a silver medal on the opening day of gymnastics at the Games. Melanie Banville had sure hands then and does it again. It's the mark of the meet for her. She lands a 9.425, and again she climbs the leaderboard, perhaps to challenge for the medals. Now just one event to go for Melanie Banville. Over at the balance beam, Valery Liukin, a former Olympic gold medalist from Russia, and his 13-year-old daughter Nastya are preparing for a big moment. They're chasing a 16-year-old named Chelsea Memel from Milwaukee, who has been very strong in the first half of the championship meet. Memel's floor exercise may be the best the crowd has seen here in Santo Domingo, and they react enthusiastically to a remarkable score of 9.7. She'll hold on to the lead. Meantime, Liukin is elegant on the 4-inch wide beam and shows off impeccable form. It's more difficult to score well here. Every mistake or hesitation is noticed. Tenths of marks deducted. Still, it's nearly flawless for Liukin. A 9.637 to stay close to Memel. Very much to the Masters' liking, the chance at a gold medal very much alive. With one event to go, Melanie Banville has climbed to 4th spot. Brazil's Hippolito is 3rd. Chelsea Memel has but a 3/10 lead over the 13-year-old. In the 4th and final rotation, Melanie Banville cannot put pressure on those in front. She stays on the balance beam, but a tentative approach results in a mediocre score. Less than she had hoped for. It's less than 9. Danielle Hippolito is not about to open the door to challenge from the Canadian. With Olympic experience on her side, not to mention the partisan crowd, many of whom are from her native Brazil, Hippolito delivers her final message. She has a flair for the artistic and dances to the bronze medal with a final mark of 9.125. It's more than enough to get her there. Now to the battle for the gold medal and the task ahead of Chelsea Memel. There is only one vault in the all-around final. This must count. A fall would give Liukin an opportunity. Memel does not do anything spectacular, but she and her coach, Jim Chudy, think the 16-year-old may have it. The vault is clean, and the landing will be intact. It's a 9.125, means that her American teammate will have to come through in a big way on the marquee event of women's gymnastics. Nastya Liukin is not allowed to qualify for the Olympic Games because she is 2 years shy of the minimum age for a gymnastics competitor. Only 13, she seems much more accomplished. Clearly the beneficiary of classical training from her champion father, Nastya enthralls the crowd with her final effort. It's all that she can give. She leaves the stage, hoping it's more than a mark of 9.6. That's what Nastya Liukin needs to pass Chelsea Memel. Her father greets her at the other end with satisfaction and pride. Olympic credentials, it would seem, flow through the family's blood, but it's a 9.525, just shy, making Chelsea Memel the champion. It's a difference of less than 1/10, with Liukin claiming an inspired silver medal. Hippolito wins bronze. Ashley Banville, the top Canadian, at 5th.
Really good experience, I guess. I worked really hard. I moved up 4 spots from yesterday, so that's a big goal.
The one-time Olympic champion and his rising star of a daughter. They'll be back. There is so much to count on following her performance.
That was unbelievable. This is the greatest I ever think about it. You know, she did well. She handled herself like a real gymnast, I would say, elite gymnast, and I can't say enough. I'm very proud of her.
Chelsea Memel's floor exercise won at a 9.7. The highest mark in the competition means the gold medal for the American.
I just concentrated on all my routines and just focused on what I was doing. Oh, the crowd always helps me. I just love all the cheering. It really helps you finish a routine.
A 16-year-old from Milwaukee, the gold medal in the all-around competition for women. 3 years younger, Nastya Liukin will be back to chase for gold. Danielle Hippolito of Brazil is off to the World Championships with a Pan American Games bronze medal finish.
The women gymnasts still have one more day of competition, the individual event finals to come. Katrina LeMay-Doan is
Nastya Liukin is not allowed to qualify for the Olympic Games because she is 2 years shy of the minimum age for a gymnastics competitor. Only 13, she seems much more accomplished. Clearly the beneficiary of classical training from her champion father, Nastya enthralls the crowd with her final effort. It's all that she can give. She leaves the stage, hoping it's more than a mark of 9.6. That's what Nastya Liukin needs to pass Chelsea Memel. Her father greets her at the other end with satisfaction and pride. Olympic credentials, it would seem, flow through the family's blood, but it's a 9.525, just shy, making Chelsea Memel the champion. It's a difference of less than 1/10, with Liukin claiming an inspired silver medal. Hippolito wins bronze. Ashley Banville, the top Canadian, at 5th.
Really good experience, I guess. I worked really hard. I moved up 4 spots from yesterday, so that's a big goal.
The one-time Olympic champion and his rising star of a daughter. They'll be back. There is so much to count on following her performance.
That was unbelievable. This is the greatest I ever think about it. You know, she did well. She handled herself like a real